You mentioned we could use those range names and formulas. Could you show me how that works?
Absolutely. So we're just going to use the sum function, and we're going to start by summing quarter 1. Now in this example, we're just going to do a quick auto sum. So we'll use the auto sum button there on the ribbon, and we'll just choose auto sum.
Wow, it put the name range in the function.
Right, so for something straightforward like this, where it's obviously that range and it knows that it's been named, Excel will just type that in for you. So all we have to do is enter, and we're done.
Awesome.
So normally you put in a sum function and you just copy that across.
Oh no, it's the same number across.
Exactly right. So you remember that range names are absolute, and absolute means when I copy it, it doesn't change. So in this case, it's actually adding up quarter 1 all the way across, which obviously is not what we want. So I'm going to undo that and put it back. I did a Control Z. And if we wanted to put those in, we could put those in individually and just go in and put in those auto sums. So then we could just go in, and if you put those in individually, then it's going to add up the range. So another option for putting range names into formulas is when you already have the formula. So in this example in column F, you notice we already have the sum function, but I want to replace it with the range name. Instead of it saying B4 to E4, I want it to say north.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the define name box, but we're actually going to click on that menu, and we're going to choose apply names. And this is the north region, so choose north, but you'll notice that this is what we call the sticky function. It kept the last one, so you're going to have to click on quarter 4 to deselect it. Good, choose OK. And if you look in the formula bar, you'll notice that it now says equals sum north.
Okay.
And you could actually do that for all the rest of them. You could do multiples at once. So if I wanted to do south, east, and west all at the same time, let's just go back to that menu. We'll choose apply names, and you'll just choose those 3 functions, south, east, and west. We'll choose OK, and it just replaced all of those with the range names. So that's a quick and easy way to do that retroactively. Now over here in column K, we have it set up where we want to find some totals for, in this case, quarter 1 and 3, and then quarters 2 and 4. So we just want to make some match a little bit. So we're going to use the range names for this. And what's nice about it is we're doing this on the same sheet, but you could do this on a whole nother sheet and never even have to look at the data, which is a really nice trick. Just click there in cell L3 beside our label.
Okay.
So we're going to put in an auto sum here. And I know the logical place to look would be the place where we created those range names in the drop down. But if you look over there, you'll notice that that's not the name box anymore. Those are functions that are there.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, as soon as we're in a function, that drop down swaps to a recently used function box instead of the named range list. So we have to look elsewhere. So what we're going to do instead is on the ribbon, on the Formulas tab, again, back to the Define Names group where we were before, the only button you can use is Use in Formula, and we're just going to do quarter 1, and it types it in for you. And then remember, if we're going to do multiple arguments in a function, we just type in a comma. So we're going to type in a comma, and then go back and pull down quarter 3. We're done. We're going to add the 2 together, so of course we enter, and there's our total.
Wow, that was really easy.
I know, it's great. So let's just do this a slightly different way for the quarters 2 and 4, because as you know, there's lots of ways to do this. So we're going to do the auto sum and take out what's in the parentheses. And then this time, instead of going to use in formula, because you may not be on the formulas tab, and you may just want to do it another way, you can use the function key 3 on your keyboard. So when you do F3 anywhere in Excel, it is always going to pull up this box that says paste names.
Okay.
Anywhere, all the time. So then you just double click on the one that you want, which in this case is quarter 2. And it drops it in there, and we'll do a comma. And then I am going to show you one more way, although in previous lessons we talked about the fact that I'm not a big fan of typing in formulas, but I will tell you that if you were to start typing in the quarter 3, notice how it's going to give you a list of range names, and the little icon is different there, so you know it's a range name. That's the little visual for a range name. So double click on 4, quarter 4, and it will pop it in there. And we're done, and we can enter. So you have several pretty straightforward ways to put the named ranges into functions.
Plus, the formulas are easier to read with named ranges.